Zach is an amazing speaker, but don't let his speaking style distract you from the actual argument in the round. You have to focus on the actual warrants for why you provided the argument and actually the reasoning behind them. Let's first look at our disadvantage. His responses were essentially saying that, one, we haven't provided any evidence for our disadvantage, any of our impact links or internal links. One, if they're not going to provide evidence for their plan, their actual mandate, then we're not going to provide evidence for our disadvantage. If they're going to bring up an actual plan advocate stating they should actually do this, then we'll bring up some disadvantage evidence saying that this is going to happen. My second response to that is, like Katie said, by the NCFCA, evidence is determined on something that you can make a conclusion upon. We provide logic, and I would say kudos to us for actually coming up with something reasonable against their plan with our own brain and not using someone else's literature. His second response is that other countries aren't going to invest enough because we're not taxing them. My response here is, like I said in cross-examination, it's unpredictable. How do these countries know we're not going to spring upon them? China also uses cluster bombs. What if we suddenly say, China, we're going to tax your investors too unless you sign a cluster bomb treaty? That is the unpredictability of a foreign policy nature. You don't simply say to a country, we are going to punish you if you don't do what we say. That's why the other countries are not going to invest in us. His third response to this is saying that he's not going to necessarily use the enforcement because Russia wants to do it anyway.